Professor, this presentation is going to be on the Holocaust. The Holocaust is a word from Greek origin meaning sacrifice by fire. In the beginning of 1930s, the Jewish population was over 9 million. There was no set reason for Hitler's hatred for the Jews, but some of the factors that may have contributed were religious conflicts between Christianity and Judaism, the Jews' economic power. The majority of the businesses were owned and controlled by the Jewish people. The biological differences. Hitler and many Nazis thought Germans were superior and Jews were inferior. However, he was merely obsessed with the pure German race. Hitler wanted to make room in Germany for the master race, also known as the Germans, to expand. He claimed he needed more living space. Prior to the Holocaust, although many think that this was the beginning of discriminating the Jewish, the hostility towards Jews dates back long before the Holocaust and when Hitler gained power. Hitler and many other anti-Jews served in the German army or World War I. Hitler said the Jews were the reason for the country's defeat in World War I. Many people were targeted at this time. It was mainly the disabled, Romas, Slavic people, homosexual, Jehovah's Witnesses, and obviously Jewish. The Nazis often used discreet language to disguise their plans, such as the final solution, which referred to their plan to kill all the Jewish people. After the Nazi Party obtained power in Germany in 1933, the racism led to anti-Jewish legislation, economic boycotts, and the violence of Kristallnacht, or the Night of the Broken Glass. The anti-Jewish people destroyed the Jewish-owned businesses and homes and glass lined the streets. And there was 3 camps altogether: Auschwitz I, Auschwitz II, and Auschwitz III. Auschwitz I was the main camp. The first prisoners here were German prisoners who were incarcerated for being repeat criminals. This camp was made for 3 reasons. Number 1, to incarcerate Nazi enemies. 2, to supply forced laborers for deployment. And 3, to a site to kill small groups of the population. This is the one that had the gas chamber as you can see in the bottom, and the crematorium at the top. Auschwitz II. This camp had the largest total prisoner population. The Nazis constructed 2 farmhouses that had 3 parts to them: the disrobing area, large gas chamber, and the crematorium ovens. Some of the prisoners being held here rebelled after learning they were going to be killed, and killed 3 of the guards and blew up the gas chamber with bombs that nearby workers smuggled into the camp. The smugglers were caught and hanged in public. And Auschwitz III. This camp housed the prisoners. They slept in bunks that were not meant for, but held 4 to 5 people, as you can see in the top picture. The prisoners that were selected to be workers were tattooed with an ID number on their left arm, then sent to Auschwitz I, as you can see in picture at the bottom. The prisoners had to march about 35 miles from this camp to Auschwitz I. Anyone who could not keep up were shot by the guards. About 15,000 prisoners were killed during evacuation marches. The suffering at the camps, it was up to 6 million Jewish, Soviet civilians around 7 million, which was including the Jewish. Non-Jewish was about 1.8 million, disabled up to 250,000. The Gypsies about 220,000. Jehovah's Witnesses around 1,900, and repeat criminals were at least 70,000. The final solution, 1940 to 1941. This was a secret name for how Hitler wanted to kill the Jews. Starting mid-1940s, Hitler's empire took over most of Germany and transported people from all over the Polish ghettos. In September of 1941, everyone who claimed they were Jewish was marked with a yellow star, which made them stand out. And the ending, when Germany was invaded in 1945, Hitler knew he had been defeated and committed suicide in April of 1945, so the Allies could not capture him. Tons of his other Nazis committed suicide because they were taught that killing themselves was better than being caught and put in prison or possibly killed. Hundreds of the Nazis were captured and punished for their involvement. The survivors of the camp thought it was impossible to return back home, And beginning in 1953, the German government was paying some of the survivors as a way to say sorry for what had happened.